level.
He's amazing. How he controls the ball, how he put everybody in place. I've been with a lot of quarterbacks, and I never seen them carry themselves like Aaron Rodgers.
I'm putting aside for a second the question of what are Patrick's former receivers doing. I mean, like, I don't know. I thought everybody liked the guy. Harry, what do you agree with the assessment of Rodgers versus Mahomes?
I agree, but I don't think it's a whole nother level. Like, I think that was a bit excessive. I do believe that Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback. When we do top 5 quarterbacks, or who is my top quarterback in the National Football League, for me, it is Aaron Rodgers. You talk about a guy who won back-to-back MVPs. He can make every throw from every arm angle. Let me take y'all back to 2014. I happened to be playing for the Atlanta Falcons then. We played the Green Bay Packers in December. The frozen tundra, it was cold. We could barely even feel our hands. But Aaron Rodgers, they aligned Jordy Nelson up in a condensed split, right? And he was going to run a corner post. Our backside corner, I thought was about to intercept the football, but the trajectory of the football from Aaron Rodgers, as y'all are watching right now, did not allow that corner to intercept that football. And I knew right then, I said, my goodness, A-Rod. But that wasn't the only experience I had. We had the #1 seed in 2010. The Green Bay Packers barely got into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Guess who came to town? Guess who came to Hot Atlanta? A-Rod. Guess what he did? Beat the hell out of him.
He wasn't done there. That team won the Super Bowl.
I was a believer in A-Rod right then and there.
Yeah. So, well, that team, of course, went on, and Aaron's, we've discussed at length, hasn't had much luck getting back there. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about, who's the better quarterback. Tim, do you agree with Sammy Watkins' assessment?
Yeah, I think there's actually evidence to back up what Sammy Watkins is saying, to be honest with you. You just look at the last 4 seasons, Dan. Aaron Rodgers has thrown 136 touchdowns in 15 picks. Like, I don't know if people can really, I hope they do, they grasp like how insane that is. That touchdown to interception ratio, which kind of goes along with what Sammy's talking about in terms of where Aaron is placing the football. Because it's not like Aaron's not aggressive with the football. He most certainly is. Sometimes I think you can argue, before the ball leaves his hands, maybe the ball shouldn't be going where he's trying to throw it. And just kind of for perspective, when you look at it, if you were to look at touchdown to interception ratio for quarterbacks that have thrown for over 4,000 yards in a season, the top 6 touchdown to interception ratios that exist are owned by Aaron Rodgers. So I just think that, like, in terms of the production of what he has done, in terms of throwing touchdowns and not turning it over, which is what quarterbacks, quite honestly, are asked to do, he's been far superior than anyone who has ever played the game.
I guess that's the key thing here, right, James? I mean, it's not an insult to Patrick Mahomes or anyone else to say Aaron Rodgers is the superior player. What do you think?
Yeah, there's no slight to Patrick Mahomes. It just goes to the greatness of Aaron Rodgers. He's a guy who can get rid of the ball in 2 to 3 seconds each and every time. You snap the football, he's going to get the team in the right looks. And it's just kind of like that aura, that presence of guys like him and Tom Brady. They've been playing the game for so long. When you step into the huddle with them, you better be on your stuff, or else you're not going to be in the huddle with them. And I think that's what Sammy Watkins is talking about. We all know how uber talented Patrick Mahomes is, and he's great within himself. But I think when it comes to guys like Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, they're just on a different level. I think it's kind of a mindset thing. Those guys, when they're coming on that field, they're coming to dominate. They know how to manipulate defenses. They just know how to get the job done a little bit differently.
Certainly talking about all-time greatness. Kimberly, I want to go back to my original point. Like, if I'm Mahomes, I'm sitting there going, what are my guys doing here? What do you think?
See, here's the thing. Patrick Mahomes his career is just starting. Aaron Rodgers, it's coming to an end. So I completely am fine saying Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback. No arguments there. But you know what? I need Patrick Mahomes to have some of that Aaron Rodgers attitude, that little chip now, because Tyreek Hill, I don't know why he was talking about me versus Tua. I don't know why Sammy Watkins had to say, oh, he's on a whole nother level than Pat. Like, it's just a bit much now. Like, okay, guys, and like I understand they're asked questions and they got answered honestly, but it just seems like a bit much. And I need Patrick Mahomes to have that Brady, Aaron Rodgers chip on their shoulder where they remember every little thing that's said, so that when the season starts, Patrick Mahomes is like, okay, you think my balls don't look as pretty as Tua's? Like let's go. That's what I want to see.
You think Mahomes can use this for fuel? No. Let's go. Let's get past that.
He can. Yeah. He can use it as fuel. But here's the thing, though. when you look at a guy like Patrick Mahomes, and before everyone wants to cancel all of us on social media, just understand what we're saying. We know Patrick Mahomes has been phenomenal for the Kansas City Chiefs. But when you look at a guy like Aaron Rodgers who can manipulate you with his mind, who can dissect any and everything, I think that's where you have the vision.
We were last year, and I know what we have built here, the core, the leaders, and mixed with a great group of young guys who are hungry to make a name for themselves and getting this league running. I feel very, very confident about where we are and excited about where we are and just ready to keep building and get this thing rolling.
All right, we have our football crew here, Harry Douglas, James White, Kimberly Martin. So, Harry, I mean, you listen to what Dak has to say. Do you agree with him? Do you think that they're in that kind of strong position in the East?
Some parts I agree with Dak. When you look at when they're coming into this season, Dak is going to be healthy. That's very, very important for this Dallas Cowboys football team. But when you look at 2021, I think the receiving core, they had more confidence in then more so than they do right now. Now, I believe that's going to be huge because if the run game can't get going, if that can't be valuable to the offensive line, and if the offensive line can't be right, then are they in a better situation than they were last year? I don't think so. But when you look at this team, you look at Dak Prescott, is he set up the best in the NFC East to have success more so than any other quarterback? And my answer is no, because when I look at Jalen Hurts and I look at the Philadelphia Eagles, they have the better offensive line, the better tight end, they have the #1 rushing offense in the National Football League last year, they have the better receiver group, and if you listen to Pro Football Focus, they ranked their roster overall, the Philadelphia Eagles, 7th overall. The Cowboys are 16th.
Yeah. I think that overall, people tend to agree that Philly's roster is better. But the quarterback situation, obviously, I think Dak is the more accomplished player of the two. So what do you think when you hear Dak say this?
The game, those guys will be heavily involved. So I think he's very optimistic, and I am too, especially because of their defenses as well. They have, Trayvon Diggs, Micah Parsons, difference maker, DeMarcus Lawrence, difference maker. I think when he's speaking, I don't think he's just speaking about the offense. I think he's talking about the team as a whole.
Sure.
And I think if the offense starts off a little bit slow, they have the defense to kind of protect them, that can create turnovers and have his back. So I'm very optimistic, but I do think the Philadelphia Eagles, they're right there with them. I just think the QB play gives them the edge because Dak Prescott has been a more consistent quarterback.
All right, yeah. So, look, we talk about the roster overall. We talk about the defense. The defense picked up Dallas a little bit last year when the offense struggled. Tim Hasselbeck joining us now. Tim, do you agree with the idea that Dak is in the best position he's been in to succeed since he got there?
Listen, I actually believe so. I think we've talked a lot about the offensive line and, maybe some of the issues that they feel like they're facing this year. But, remember last year? I mean, Dak is coming off a brutal injury, misses a bunch of time, in the offseason. They're not sure when he's going to be ready. Then he gets there and his shoulder's bothering him, so they essentially shut him down for training camp. And then he has arguably his best season of his career. And so now you contrast with that with what he's walking into this year. Sure, no Amari Cooper, but look, they have other really good players on that team. And all this talk about, uncertainty on the offensive line, I just would remind people, even though this was the best offense in football a year ago, and, statistically, yeah, I think you have to look at it. They ranked 23rd in pass protection. So it's not like Dak Prescott, didn't have to deal with any pressure a year ago. So I actually think that the way the defense looks, the way that Dak is healthier coming into the season, I think he's set up for success.
Kimberly, what do you think?
This time of year, James, you know how you guys do this time of year. Players are always, I'm in the best shape of my life. We have so much confidence. This roster, we're going to get to the play. We are so confident in this building. Listen, I feel that way. ESPN, hey, I'm in the best shape of my life. I am poised to have a great year this year. I am much improved from last year. But it's all talk, right? Until we actually see it on the field. I think Tim brings up a great point about you have confidence in Dak. Because you know the type of player he is. Before he got hurt, he was having a stellar start to the season. I think with the Cowboys, there's just so many ifs, right? If the offensive line play is good, if CeeDee Lamb makes the team not miss Amari Cooper, if Michael Gallup comes back and he's good, when they get James Washington back, yes, it's a good offense, but there are pieces still missing and there are still questions. If Mike McCarthy doesn't make everybody question whether he should have this job every week, if they eliminate the penalties because they led the league in penalties last year across the board, not just offense, defense, the whole team was littered by penalties, right? So there's so many ifs. But again, in this division, you see the Eagles, the supporting cast is so strong. But the reason you can even make a case for the Cowboys actually being the favorite in that division is because of the QB play. And that, at the end of the day, is the most important position.
Yeah, James, you were making a point in our meeting this morning about you think Dak is in a position in his career where he can be the guy that helps overcome some of these ifs, right?
Yeah, I think this is the year for him to kind of take more of the onus, more of the responsibility is going to be on him, putting the offense in the right looks. They're running 2 high safeties, run the football. They're stacking the box, run the play action, getting the right looks. I think he's in that position to show that he's one of the elite quarterbacks in this league. And like I said, he's going to have to throw his receivers open a little bit more. I think he's one of the most talented quarterbacks, and I think he doesn't get enough credit. He had a good year last year. This would be a big year for him. Him, Mike McCarthy, Kellen Moore, those guys are going to have to push the envelope.